Hello. I'm a little disorganized, but I'm here. So, hello to everyone joining today. I feel like I need to move my chair over a little bit. There we go. That's better. A little more centered. Hello, hello. How is everybody today? How is smoky is it in your area where you're watching from today? I feel like it's cleared up a bit here. It's definitely not the smoky smell that it was yesterday, and it was really thick here yesterday. So I'm just wondering how other places are doing. Yeah. Hello, Dagny. Hello, Pam. Hello, Auntie. It's just crazy. I can't imagine, you know, if our smoke is this bad here, that how it is closer to where the actual fires are. Yeah. I mean, it is pretty foggy, or I keep saying foggy because that's what it looks like. It is pretty smoky, but I feel it's a bit higher up. It's not like at the street level like it was yesterday, so that's a bit better. But you know, it is kind of like fog. You can't see a couple blocks in front of you. So better for sure than yesterday. Yesterday was really bad. Excuse me. It's actually the worst yesterday was that I was getting into the buildings, and I was trying to keep it from coming in here because I'm worried about the papers and things that are porous, right, and absorbent. I sure don't want them smelling like smoke, right? Yeah. Outside for 4 days. Yeah, it's rough, hey? Hello, Lori. We do need rain, and Dawson is scheduled for a little bit of rain, like 60% chance. I looked at like Chetwynd and out that area, and it doesn't look like as much of a chance of rain. So we'll have to just see, right? Good. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't horrible like it was yesterday, hey? For sure, for sure. Hello, Wanda. How are you? Oh, a beautiful afternoon. Oh, so you guys must not have so much smoke there, hey? I mean, we can't even see our sun here, so I don't know what the sky is doing. So is it clear there? How are the fires around Grand Prairie? I haven't really, you know, you kind of tend to listen to the news or the reports in your area, so I haven't really heard how things are that way. Yeah, exactly. My family is out at Moberly today, so I will wait to hear the report on that, how it is out there. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right. Excuse me. I'm still struggling with a little bit of a cold, so pardon me if I'm a little bit stuffy. Let's start with the demo, okay? Should we do that? Oh, I always forget to change my face on here. I'll have to do that. Okay, so let's just go this. We won't have my face. How about that? So, a couple things from yesterday. Aw, that's great, Wanda. That's great to hear that the evacuees have been able to return home. That's wonderful. Oh, is it bad at Moberly? Well, I guess they'll find out, right? So, last week, I did some demos. So this one, of course, you'll remember. I had used the stencil and some water to remove bits, right? We remember that. And then I had also done that on the pieces that had gesso. But then when I went to wipe with the cloth, it wiped it right off, right? So what I did was I recolored on the gesso with the crayons. Nothing fancy, I just colored and smudged it with my fingers, and then I put a layer of clear gesso over it. This sealed it in perfectly. I am very thrilled. I felt last week that I was a little bit, what's the word, like disappointed maybe because it seemed that nothing was working. But this clear gesso, that is the key. Now it will not, I'll show you, even if I rub it, rub, nothing. It is sealed and it is perfect. So the solution to sealing crayons, clear gesso. It seems to work better than anything else. So then I also took a crayon, and you remember this, my paper casting that I did a few weeks ago from the napkin pieces. So I used the crayon. This was a shimmer one out of one of the holiday packages, and I just colored on the top. Now you could probably do this with, of course, an ink pad. You could sort of slide it over the top, and then you could, like with re-inker or water, you know, you could do that. But what if you didn't want that runny look or that inked look? So the crayon worked very well, I thought. It gave me a really good design on here. I'm feeling better about the crayons. And then again, I put clear gesso on over top of this. So now you get this cool piece of art or ephemera, whatever you want to call it. And I do feel like this is something that only the crayons could do. I'm trying to talk up the crayons, and after feeling so discouraged last week, I feel like I finally am able to show you a few things. So, works really well on this. So then for the blending and things, I did this one this morning. Well, no, I'm lying. I did part of it yesterday. So I put the crackle medium on here, which I had done to a different piece last week. So I put crackle medium, even though it didn't crackle very good. I don't know if I shouldn't have been putting it on with a brush or what was going on, but it sure did not crackle. It's not medium. Yes, it is. Crazing Collage medium. So anyway, I put it on. I used the same shimmery gray crayon, and I colored it all over the background, and I just colored it, and then I just smeared it with my thumb or my fingers. And then, so then when I was getting ready for this live today, I thought, well, what else could we do besides just have this silver sheet that's kind of texturized? So then I colored the right persimmon on here, which are these colors in here, and I rubbed those. Now you can see that the one thing about the crayon is it layers. It does not blend. Water, yes, you can blend it more, but as it's on its own, it does not blend, it layers. So almost all of the silver that I had on there is gone, other than a few little bits. And then I thought, okay, well, let's go again. And I used gathered twigs. I colored a little bit in the middle, and then I edged it around the edge. And I thought, well, I didn't clear gesso this one, but you very much absolutely could. And I thought, well, it's still very cool, and it's a great way to just play with techniques and textures with these crayons. And again, it gives you a different look. You could not achieve this crayon look with anything but the crayons, right? So, I know, Dagny, I get that for sure, but it seemed like I don't even get thin cracks with a thin bit of it. Like it's the crazing I'm just not happy with at all. And honestly, I put 2 layers on here because it wasn't crackling, and I thought, oh, well, I'll thicken it up. And you can see in some of the thicker spots, it kind of did do a few things, but not much. Okay, so I thought, well, this is good. I mean, at least it's showing you kind of different techniques and how to use things, okay? So then I went ahead, excuse me, guys, this morning, and since I had my clear gesso out, I thought, well, let's do clear gesso. And I didn't, so you see this one, you can see the brush strokes, right? You can see that texturized from the brush strokes of me putting on that medium. So I thought, I used one of the foam blending dauber things, and I dabbed all over this to put the clear gesso on, because I thought, well, let's try that and just see if that gives it a different texture or how it works, right? And now I'm also today going to use blending brushes just because I burnt my finger and my finger's a little sore. So I don't want to start out with this one. So I'm going to try it with blending brushes just to see where we're at for today, okay? Besides, I don't know that I've ever blended a crayon with a blending brush, so let's give it a whirl, right? So, as you can see, the clear gesso underneath isn't as, what would be the word? I guess it doesn't leave a slick enough surface to really be able to spread that great. Maybe if you went faster, and you have to push quite hard. So isn't that interesting? Clear gesso is on the paper, isn't much different than just the paper itself. That's very interesting. Let me grab a water brush and we'll add some water and just see what difference that makes. See if I have a water brush that actually has some water in it. So this is all really surprising, right? I mean, I would have thought clear gesso, yep, it works good, let's do it. Now, however, look at this. I do feel it does a really good job when you add water. And just adding clear gesso kind of takes away the like, you wouldn't then necessarily need to have watercolor paper or anything. You could just treat all your papers, and this would be good for scrapbooking because you could put clear gesso over any of your scrapbooking pages, any of your patterned, and then you can add your crayons to color it or to add color if you say you have a floral pattern paper or something else. Oh, see, it's not working as good up here. Wonder what's going on. Maybe not enough water. I guess it's better, just a little bit more water. And then again, like, it doesn't really blend. I'm just going to go down over it, but doesn't really blend. Okay, so I just want to go back and see comments here. I know, I get it, Wanda, too. I've really struggled to use them. Crazing probably is different. I know the crackle paste, I'm pretty good with that. And maybe the crayon apply after the crayon, the crackle. Yes, absolutely, I could do that. The point of putting the crackle on first is to have those cracks show up from the crayon being colored on it, right? Yes, the brush works really good. Like, but you have to put quite a bit of water on it. But look at the difference, hey? I couldn't even hardly blend it with a blender brush. And here I'd gotten all these blender brushes out because I thought, well, I should have one for each color. And then I couldn't even use it. Now, of course, I'm doing stripes across here because that seems like the thing to do, right? When you're demoing, for some reason, you just tend to make stripes on everything. Put peacock feathers on here at the bottom. So when I'm coloring on this crayon, you guys can probably see the really rough texture. That's because I dotted on the clear gesso, so it gives you that stippled kind of a look, right? So lots of water. Lots of water. I mean, I'm happy with this. Now that I know that this is what happens, I mean, I definitely am happy with it. It would be really easy to make some quick backgrounds with this. So, I mean, I'm definitely pleasantly surprised and happy with this. So, clear gesso, good for sealing, good for kind of making your paper watercolored paper, but not so good for just simple, like, regular crayon blending. For crayon blending like this one, you need a different medium. You need a collage medium or a multimedia gel or something like that to be able to blend, just push it out with your fingers or with a blending brush. Dabbing off this extra crayon juice on here. So at least we got a couple, so that's really good. So we're kind of getting down to the gist of how these crayons work or what you can do with them. I'm sure that there's others of you out there who have used them and have done different things with them. If you have, you can always let me know. I can mention it, absolutely. There, blend that line in a little bit more, hey? And then still remember that every time, now if I even went and put water on here, this would blend, because until it's sealed, it's always water reactive. So if you don't want to have your crayon blend or move or change, you need to seal it. And as I mentioned, that clear gesso works very, very well for sealing. So well. Like now if I put, I'm not going to touch that one because I don't have gesso on here, but if I go like this to put clear, so it's right, it's sealed it in. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a good way to seal it in. So I'm happy about that. Clear gesso, right? You like the orange one? Yeah, that one's nice. I do like that with the bit of gesso. I mean, I did this really fast, but I mean, you could really play around with it and really make it texturized, right? Okay, so then setting the, let's be done with the crayons. I hope, Wanda, that I at least gave you some ideas and maybe inspired you to, you know, kind of try some out and work a little bit with them. So now the next little demo and project sort of that I want to share with you is a class that I'm working on. So you're kind of getting a sneak peek, which is okay. Hello, Dorinda, how are you? The gel would work underneath. You can try putting it over, but I would dab it on if you did, because it is a water-based as well. Because what did I don't know if I tried a gel the last time, hey? I don't know if I tried, yeah, I don't know if I tried a gel the other week. I think I just put the microglaze over the top. Try it, right? Anyway, so this class coming up, so it's going to be a little mixed media book. This is actually, it's not a book, it's a little storage thing. I should have measured it to see if it would hold a card. I don't know if this is a card size or not. So maybe, maybe not, I'm not sure, but it's a cute little storage book. I have it apart right now just because I wanted to do this and I didn't want to damage the hinges or get glue or anything on there. So this is going to be a class. It's in very early stages, as you can see. So don't, you know, judge a book by its cover, right? But I wanted to show you how. So I just decoupaged this. I used the multimedia gel. I just went in my scrap paper bin, found some papers that, you know, I had bits of, some that sort of had coordinating colors, and that's all I did, was I just used my scrap paper bin. Because we always have so much scrap paper, right? So I thought, let's try to use this and see if we can create a really nice class out of it. So there will be more added to this, and I had started out painting the book with like a hickory smoke, but now that I've antiqued it with this, I'm not sure if I'm keeping this or not, this little bit of painting. So when it comes time to me having the project finished for the class, it might look a little bit different. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you about this wax, and I had used the wax a little tiny bit before, but I wasn't as versed in it as I am now, thank you to the mixed media class I took. And I really like, this is sepia antiquing wax. I really like it. I'm sure that there's so many on the market and there's so many different ones, but this one, I like the color. I like the way it's used. I'm very partial to it. So I'm really, really happy. This is the one I actually picked to use on my project. And I'm now again using it on another project. So like I said, all I did was I went into my scrap paper bin, grabbed some pieces, ripped them apart, put them on here. I did that for the spine as well. So there's like these couple pieces of the wood. I didn't want it to wrap. You can absolutely wrap it, but I thought, well, if I could just paint that or do something, that would be better, right? So I've done the spine as well. Now the back, I'm gonna actually take the cover off here so that you can compare it too, okay? So the back is not waxed. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to do the waxing on the screen here, okay? But I wanted to show you the difference between the waxing and the non-wax. So can you see how much more brown? Here, let me just take this off. Okay, let me just get rid of my face there. No, I should go like this so it's covering over that gray. So can everybody see the difference? Maybe with the glare it's a little bit more difficult to see the difference. So when I had this, you know, it's okay, right? It's okay, but it's not the greatest. But when you put that nice antiquing wax on there, it really changes things. I mean, you can see if I go in the white spots, let's see. Here's the same paper right here at the bottom. That's the same piece of paper. So you can see the difference. So I'm going to show you quick how to use this wax. So they come in these tubes. The best thing is to squirt a little bit out onto a mat or a palette tray or something like that. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Yes, love the darker. I do too. Absolutely. It's a game changer. And it does make it look like old 60s photos. Absolutely. So you pick it up with a stencil brush and you just rub it around. It has to be a firm bristled brush. You can't just use like a paintbrush. It has to be a firm bristled brush for a couple of reasons. Because one, you want it in the cracks and the grooves and the texture. If you have a little bit of texture, you know you're going to want to make sure that it gets pushed into that texture, right? And also because you want it thin. This can be layered once it dries. I wouldn't, well, I guess you could probably keep layering it now, but you could let it dry and then you can add more to it if you want. But this just allows you to get an easier, even coating with it, with this brush. Now I'm trying not to get wax on my gray part there because I was thinking about it after I was doing the front piece. I'm like, oh man, I should have taped that off. It would have been so much better. So you can see how I can kind of just keep spreading it from the little bit I've used. All right, so now look at that difference, hey? So everybody, when I do the class, everybody will get, hello Amber, nice of you to join. So when we do the class, everybody will get one of these books to finish. You can use my scrap paper or you can bring your own scrap paper bin. It's completely up to you. We will continue to mix media it on the front, so we'll have some buildup and some different textures. And then you'll have a nice cute little storage box. It's like a secret one because when you put it up on the shelf, you know, you'll see the spine and we could put some writing on there. We could stamp it. We could make it look like a real book. So leave it with me and I'm going to see what I come up with. I just see that there's a dark spot here, so I want to get to that. Okay, so now that's it for my demos. I'm going to put it back here on my face. All right. So that's a class. I'm not sure when I'll get it done. I am working on it, so hopefully soon. But I was thinking about possibly another craft social. I was thinking on June 17th, which is, I know, the day before Father's Day, but it would be from 5 till 9. And would anybody be interested in that? I don't want to host things and put them out there and then, you know, people, that's not really what they're interested in. So I'm just wondering. But however, before you answer, I do have the project ready that I was going to do. Now, if nobody's really interested in a craft social, which is when you come and there's maybe a bit of wine or coffee or all the different beverages and some snacks and some, you know, we could do charcuterie or something like that. It's just a nice evening, right? And the project I've picked does have some dry time in between the steps. So I thought it would actually be a perfect project for a craft social. Now, like I said, if you think that's not really your jam and you're just good to just have a class, well, that's good too. But I want to show you the project that I've created. Okay, this is what it looks like. Oh, I'm gonna have to go way back. It's a 12 by 12 canvas. Hello, Kim. Nice of you to join. So it's a 12 by 12 canvas. It has the craft social amber. It's like those paint nights, you know, where you go and you get a drink and you paint and whatever. So it's my spin on a paint night, basically, a craft social. Okay, so this is the project that we would do. I would have two set quotes. Either you could do this, I wished for you, or just breathe. And it would be the dandelions like this. You could pick whatever color background you want. It's just distress paint that's watered down, but it's magic. Look, it lights up. It lights up. You probably can't see it very good on the camera. Can you see it light up? I'll move it back again, turn the lights off. See that? You can see when I turn it off and on, right? So I was thinking of a craft social June 17th, 5 to 9. I don't have pricing or anything like that yet. I'm sorry. So let me know if that's something that you might be interested in. If not, as a craft social, we could just do it as a class, but I'm pretty excited about it. It turned out so lovely. Turned out so good. This is permanent vinyl that we put on. I just have some battery operated lights that we string through, and I think it's just beautiful. So I would really, really love to show this to everybody and teach everybody how to do it and have a beautiful piece of art that you could take home. Yes, I love the dandelion too. I'm partial to dandelion, so it wasn't a hard pick for me. So I will put it out there as a craft social. Awesome. Thank you, Dagny. That'd be great. It is. It's so simple, but so stunning. Absolutely. I agree with you. It's beautiful. So I'll list it out on the website as a craft social. If I don't get I probably would want at least 4 minimum. If we don't get that, then I will just change it to a regular class. So Dagny, were you at the other craft social? I know Rhonda was, but I can't remember who else. Pam, were you at that one? I can't remember. When we did, it was the mini album, and it was like journaling about yourself. We used simple stories, papers. It was fun. We had a great time. And this project is nice because, you know, you have to paint, and then the paint has to dry. And then you have to cut out the vinyl, and you'll have to weed it all and get it ready to put on. So then you have to wait until the paint's completely dry before we put the vinyl on. Then we have to punch all the holes for the lights, which doesn't take too long, but a bit. And then the gluing takes a bit of time. For gluing, almost took me an hour because I want to make sure that the lights are straight and only in a certain amount. Like these actually, like these little bulbs are a little bit longer, and I didn't want them all the way sticking through, so I had to kind of hold them. So the gluing of the lights takes a little bit. Okay, all right. So I just thought that would be a great project because then you could snack and you could chat and it would just be a great time, right? Awesome. So that is that. And I do have another canvas and heat transfer vinyl class coming up. So I will let you know about that, but not quite yet. And then I'm also still working on a mini album class too. So it's not clear vinyl, it is white vinyl. It is white vinyl, which I picked white because white can work with any colors. So if you wanted to do it like these colors that you liked on here, you want to do it more like a sunset, you could do that. And the white would still look nice with it, right? If you wanted to do more like this kind of a night sky, you could make it be like that. You could even do it like grunge and do these kind of colors and then still have the dandelion coming off of it. It would be beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So that's that. I have possibly a few other things up my sleeve coming, but I haven't quite ironed out all the details. You guys know how I am. So by next week, hopefully I have some other little things for you. So I'm excited. Hopefully you're excited, and watch for this class. I'll get it out on the computer here right away so that it can be registered for. So thank you, ladies, for joining me today. I hope you had a great time. No, Dagny, you paint first, and then we put the vinyl on after, because I was going to do the vinyl and then paint over it, and then you peel the vinyl up. But because the canvas is textured, right, the vinyl doesn't adhere perfectly. And I worry about seepage underneath the vinyl. And I thought putting it on top just makes it clean and crisp and beautiful. So that's it. So thanks for joining. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you next week. Thanks, as always. Love you so much. Thank you for being wonderful, wonderful customers and watching me.